After 11 years of trusty service, my very first sewing machine, this little Brother machine, finally stitched its last stitch. It was time to find a replacement, but there's so many options out there. I thought it'd be fun to showcase the journey behind looking for a new machine, which one I chose and why. I do have a Bernina QE440, which is beautiful. I use it for quilting and so forth, and I used this in the interim while I was looking for a new machine. That way I didn't have to rush into a decision, and I could really just take my time, figure out which one I needed. Why don't I just use the Bernina for everything? Well, first of all, it's 20 years old. I'm worried that it may die on me one day, just like the Brother did. And secondly, it's nice having a backup machine. That way, if it goes into the spa or it needs repair or something like that, I do have a backup machine. So I wanted to get another machine that I could use primarily for piecing. There were so many brands, so many options, so many bells and whistles when it came to buying a new machine. So I thought it was wise for me to make a short list of the features that were important to me and the others that would be kind of nice but not necessary. First of all, I wanted something that was primarily going to be great at piecing. That was kind of my viewpoint for that, because the Bernina behind me does a wonderful job of quilting and will continue to do so for quite some time, hopefully. I was also looking to spend under $1,000, hopefully much less than 1,000, but if I had to go closer to that point, that was okay. And thirdly, I was okay with a mechanical machine that did not have to be computerized. If the computerized one was a better option, I was open to that, but I was also looking at mechanical because that did a wonderful job for me for 11 years as well. My goal was to look at some machines at the Mid-Atlantic Quilt Show, because I figured a lot of the manufacturers would have machines there and I could do a lot of test driving all in one spot. I also thought it'd be wise to have a top 3 or thereabouts before going into the quilt show as well, and that would have been my Bernette, because it was the sister brand to the Bernina that I have, Brother, because I had a really good experience with them in the past, and then also the Pfaff machines because they have some really neat features for piecing. I had been to this quilt show a few times before, so I knew kind of what to expect with the sewing machines, but I'd never really looked at them before because I was not in the market for them and I didn't want to go out and spend a bunch of money on something I didn't really have the money for. Unfortunately, Juki did not have any machines there for me to play with, so unfortunately were dropped out of the running. The Janome and the Baby Lock were also not anything that was... Nothing was piquing my interest on those either, and unfortunately the Brother dealer did not have any of the machines that I was interested in on show as well. So they kind of narrowed it down to 2 machines, the Pfaff and the Bernette. So before I go any further, which one do you think it is? Do you think I got the Bernette or the Pfaff? I love the Bernette. They had a nice line of machines. They were quite affordable. They had some wonderful options and they sewed really nicely. The Pfaff was also nice. It was a little more expensive. They were all computerized, but they had some wonderful options there that were specifically for piecing. So ultimately, after test driving the Bernette and the Pfaff several times each, I finally went with the Pfaff Passport 3.0. This machine just had it all. It was compact, it was lightweight, it had the IDT, which is a proprietary system to the Pfaff machines, which basically is your walking foot. It pulls both sides of the fabric through at the same time, and it just had everything that I wanted. It was the right price and everything else. And as much as I love the Passport 3.0, that is not the machine that I now currently have in my house. Say what? Plot twist. When I purchased the machine, they said they would have to ship it to me, and I should have it within a week or 2. However, they did contact me after about a week and kindly let me know that unfortunately had not arrived at their shop yet, but they were hoping to get it very soon. I contacted them a couple of days later to find out what was going on, and unfortunately it was on back order, and I was now expecting a delay of a few weeks, hopefully. And so at that point, I thought, maybe it's time to look at a different model. And so I put some inquiries into them, and I said, okay, here's a couple of models I was looking at that had some extra features. If it's a little bit extra, maybe that's the way to go. And so they replied very quickly and said, we will be happy to give you this upgraded model for the same price. If you are happy to take a class-used model that's been used a couple of times, we'll go over it, check everything over, and you'll still get the same manufacturer warranty. I was like, absolutely, I think this is a great deal. So let's now meet the machine I purchased. And so now it is time to meet the Pfaff Ambition 620. I absolutely love this machine. I've given a bit of a test drive so far. I love that it has a larger throat space. It has all the features that the Passport 3.0 did, and I just think this is going to be a better fit for me overall, and I think this is absolutely all meant to be. So why did I choose this machine? I have several reasons for this. First of all, it had all the features I was looking for, and then some. It has stuff that I didn't think I would need or use, but now that I've been using it for a little bit, I can see why it's so popular. I love that it has a large throat space. I love that it has the IDT, which is the walking foot feature. I love how it pieces, how accurate it is. Also a nice safety net, because the Bernina is a wonderful machine, but however it is getting on in age, and we just never know when the electronics is, go to die on us or anything else like that. And so if need be, this could actually take over and do the quilting as well, because it does have that large throat space. And so I'll do a more in-depth review once I've actually had a chance to play with it and get to know it a little bit better. I think it's more fun to do it that way. But my first impressions are I am very, very impressed. I'm very, very happy with this machine. It pieces like a dream. It's quiet. It does everything accurately. I got the 1/4-inch foot with the guide as an extra for this, and that thing was spot on. I did a test on that last night to make sure it actually worked correctly, and it is absolutely spot on, so I can continue doing my tiny piecing and my accurate piecing without any extra worries about that. The other thing I love about this machine is that it has the snip feature, which is where you press the little scissor button, it stops, it pulls all the thread through the back of your quilt and snips it there with about this much thread at the end. So it makes life a little bit easier. It's not something I would have absolutely needed, but it's a nice little feature, and I think I'm going to get a lot of use out of that. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed my story and the reveal of this machine. If you have any questions about this particular machine or any of the other ones that I would have test driven, I'm more than happy to answer that for you. I hope you'll have a great day. Happy sewing, and we'll see you next time.